Welcome students for today's class. In today's class we are going to take one more problem on trusses using the influence line diagram. We have to build the influence line diagram and find out the maximum forces in the members. Here the members are star U2, U3, L3 and U3. That is U2, U3, U3 and L3. Of the bridge truss as shown in the figure, if UDL of 60 kN per meter longer than the span traverse along the bottom chord members. Here the vehicle is moving on this bottom chord members. In the previous example it was on the top chord members. Now in the present example it is moving in the bottom chord members. So this is the problem given to us. Here they have not mentioned you the height. Instead of height they have mentioned you the angle. They have mentioned the angle. From this angle you can calculate the height of the truss. Okay. Now let us first calculate the influence line diagram for U2, U3. That is this top chord member, the horizontal member. Now for horizontal member, you know, we have to take the movement about the another point, that is the, now see, now we are calculating for U2, U3. The member is ending at U3. So I have to take the movement of this U2, U3 about the bottom chord members, that is somewhere here. Okay. Now I will be taking it where U2, U3. So I will take movement about L3, that is the center point of U2 and U3. How can I say it is a center point? Because it is an equilateral triangle, that's why I can say it as an at the center point of U2 and U3. Now let us calculate it first. Movement about L3, okay, is given by what? Taking the movement about L3, that is force U2, U3 is given by moment about L3 divided by its height, and this is compressive in nature. Now how can I say compressive in nature is because since the load is moving in this direction, that is at the bottom chord, that's why what happens, the bottom chord members try to expand and the top chord members try to compress. This is how generally we can have this as a compressive member, that is it just swags. Okay, the swagging or the sagging takes place, that is now like this is the bottom chord member, and if the load is acting it just deflects. Now if the bottom chord member is trying to elongate, the top chord member will try to contract. That's why the top chord members have this compressive type of force in it. Now let us calculate the height h. So here he has given that the distance between two panels is 4 meters. So I have taken 4 and 2 square, that is the, I have applied the Pythagoras theorem and I have got the answer as 3.46. Now this 4 is the inclined length, 2 is, let us I drop a perpendicular, you know you are well versed in Pythagoras theorem. So this is, if I drop a perpendicular here, this will become 4, this is 2, and applying the Pythagoras rule you will get the height of the truss. Okay, and movement at L3 is given by what? AB divided by L. So substitute in this equation AB divided by L. Now since we are calculating for 3, on the right hand side I am having 2 panels of 4 meters, that is 4 2s are 8, and on the right hand side we are having 3 panels, so 3 4s are 12. Okay, so this is the value, and the maximum ordinate that we have calculated is 1.387. Now let us draw the influence line diagram for this. So this will be the influence line diagram for the bending, sorry, for the force in U2, U3. Okay. Now how do we find the maximum force area of this triangle? multiplied with the intensity. So this is the area of the triangle multiplied by the intensity. You will get the maximum force in U2, U3. Next, let us calculate influence line diagram for L3, U3. Okay, I'll show you what is L3, U3. L3, U3 is the inclined member. Okay. When the load is in the left portion, that is in between L3, L1 and L3. Let me draw the diagram for you once. That is, when I cut the section over here, okay, I am cutting the section and I am considering the load to be in between L1 to L3 for first part. Now when I am considering the load in this part, I have to consider the equilibrium of the right hand side. When I take the equilibrium about the right hand side, so I have this force that is acting on the top side, okay, and I am having this inclined force. So let me consider equal and opposite force, and this force I'll name it as U3, L3. Now when I take equilibrium of this, so I'll take equilibrium of summation V is equals to 0. I'll take upwards as positive. When I take right side, okay, now I'm considering only the right hand side. So plus R2, okay, it is acting upwards, so it is positive, minus force in U3, L3. Its vertical component, okay, its vertical component, that is sine 60, correct? The vertical component of this force. So this is also 60, correct? Because this here, if it is 60, even this is 60, even this will be 60, that is the angle. So along the vertical it will be sine of 60. So this will be equal to, so this will be equal to 0. From this I will get what? Force U3, L3 is equals to, even when it go to the right hand side, it will carry a minus sign. Minus and minus will get cancelled out. R2 divided by sine of 60, correct? I will get force U2, L3 is equals to R2 divided by sine of 60. Now when you have R2, let us draw the influence line diagram for R2. So when I draw the influence line diagram for R2, so this will be the influence line diagram for R2, and my load is in between L1 and L3. So once I should consider when the load is on L1, once I have to consider when the load is on L3. If I consider once when the load is on L1, what will I get? What will be the ordinate at L1? It is 0. Next, when I'll take when the load is at L3, what will I get the ordinate? That is, here will be my maximum ordinate 1. This ordinate I'll name it as x. So how much it will be? 1 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 parts is equals to 1, 2. Correct? So here the height is x divided by 2 parts. So my ordinate x will be how much? 2 by 5. So I'll get force in U3, L3 is equals to 2 by 5 of 2 divided by 5 sine 60, correct? So here I have written once more in the theory part. When the load is on the left portion, that is in between L1 and L3, consider the right hand equilibrium. So we have to consider the right hand equilibrium over here. Then after that we got it as force in U2, U3, L3 is equals to R divided by sine 60. Now we have to find the ordinate of this R when the load is at L1 and L3. So when the load is at L1, you will get the ordinate as 0. When the load is at L3, you will get the ordinate as 2 by 5 and this 1 divided by sine 60. Next, now let us consider when the load is in the other part, that is the other half part of the truss, that is in between L4 and L6. When the load is acting here, we have to take the equilibrium about the left hand side. So if you take the equilibrium of the left hand side, you will be having what? This R1 and the force here Fu3 L3. Now this force is acting inclined but upwards. So this angle 60. So this angle is also 60. Now if I take the equilibrium of vertical axis and upwards to be positive, I'll get R1 plus force U3 L3 sine 60 is equals to 0. Now I want this force, so it is F U3 L3 is equals to R1. I'll get here minus sign divided by sine of 60. Since this minus sign is there, I will write it as compressive. Okay. Now I have to find the ordinates of this R1 when the load is at L1 and L6. So we have to find, now R1 is there, so let us draw the influence line diagram for R1. So if you have the influence line diagram for R1, so this is somewhat like this, you will be having the influence line diagram for R1. Here the ordinate will be 1 and I have to calculate the ordinates for L4 and L6. When the load is at L6, what is the ordinate value of this triangle? It is 0. Similarly, when the load is at L4, the ordinate value I have to calculate of this L4. Now here I am having two parts, that is 1 and 2. Okay. So if I name this as x, x divided by 2 is equals to the bigger triangle divided by this, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. The base is made out of 5 parts. So now x is how much? 2 divided by 5 again. Okay. Next. Now, so let us substitute the values. When it is at L6, the force in U3 L3 is how much? 0. When it is at L4, the force in U3 L3 is how much? 2 divided by 5 sine of, sorry, 1, this is 1 divided by sine of 60. Okay. So this I have again written over here. Okay. So you will get 2 by 5, sorry, this is 1 divided by sine of 60 when the load is at L4. So now let us draw the influence line diagram for this. Now when it is at L1, see here, when it was at L1, the load was 0. When it is at L3, it is 2 by 5, 1 divided by sine 60. When it is at L3, it is 2 by 5 sine 2 divided by 5 sine 60. When it is at L4, it is 2 divided by 5 sine 60. And at L6, it is again equal to 0. Now from this, we have to, now we got the influence line diagram. This is influence line diagram. One part is over. Another part is what he has told us also to calculate the maximum force. Now to calculate the maximum force is what? I have to find this value of Q. Okay, I have to find the value of L1 Q and Q L6. Because this exactly where this Q is cutting this L3 L4 we don't know. So let us find this distance of Q from L3. So for that what we have to do, we have to use a similar triangles again, that is this triangle. Okay. So I'll write what? L3 Q divided by Q L4 is equals to 2 by 5 sine 60, 2 by 5 sine 60. L3 L4 is 2 by 5 sine 60 and this ordinate is 2 by 5 sine 60. Now I know L3 L4 is, how do I obtain L3 L4? L3 L4 is obtained by adding L3 Q plus Q L4. So after simplification, I got it as the 0.46 divided by 0.46 plus 0.46. This is nothing but you will get it as half. Meaning of this is what? Q is exactly at the midpoint of L3 LQ. Okay, from that I'll get that L3 LQ is equals to 0.5 times L3 L4. That is nothing but Q is the midpoint. If Q is the midpoint, then if L3 L4 is getting divided by this Q exactly at half, that means that here it is having 6 parts, 3 on each side, correct, and it is getting exactly divided somewhere in between this. So what is happening? You are having 3.5 part on the left hand side, sorry, 2.5 on the left hand side and 2.5 on the right hand side. That is nothing but that Q divides the complete truss equally. The meaning is what? The compressive stress, sorry, the compressive load in the compressive load and the tensile load are equal. So what is therefore tensile force will be equal to compressive force when the UDL will cover half the span while moving. Okay, so maximum tensile force is got how? Load multiplied with the area. So I have to multiply the load with the area. Area of what triangle? This complete L1 to Q. So that is okay, area half base into height. So your base is 10 meters. That is L1 till L3 you are having 8 meters, and L3 to L4 this is 4 meter. That why Q is the midpoint. So it is, this is L3 to L4 it is 2 meters. This is 2 meter. This is 8 meters. So in total the base is 10 meters, and point this, if you solve, you will get the answer as 0.46. So this ordinate is 0.46 multiplied by its UDL, it is 60, and this tensile force is equal to the compressive force, that is 138 kilo Newton. Okay, thank you for hearing patiently.